And hello one and all, I'm back up here with another video. I'm going to bring you my full thoughts and opinions on last night's edition of NXT. We're going to take a look at everything that took place on the October 5th, 2016 edition of NXT. This was the first edition of NXT that began the kickoff for the 2016 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. If you want to know my full thoughts and opinions, preview and predictions for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, check out my last video. Went 18 minutes, went in depth. Thought I covered a lot of ground, so broke the tournament down by each of the individual teams. So what we saw tonight, I enjoyed for the most part on NXT. I thought it was a solid addition. For the most part, there were some things that were kind of a little bit lacking, but yeah. So without further ado, let's get into this review. So how do we kick off tonight's edition of NXT? We kick it off with first round action in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It was the Bollywood boys going up against the Authors of Pain. And as soon as I saw the Authors of Pain come down, I knew this really wasn't going to be much of a fight. The Authors of Pain made pretty quick work of the Bollywood boys. They pretty much threw them around, slammed them down like a bunch of rag dolls. And they hit their finish on, I believe it was Garv, for the win. So no surprise here. I definitely see the Authors of Pain going far. Could they potentially win it? Well, we'll have to see, because as of right now, they are still, I believe, undefeated on NXT TV. So, yeah, they win in quick, dominant fashion. Nothing really more to say or add to this. We then had Rich Swann versus Patrick Clark. Place went nuts for Rich Swann. He's gonna have a great home here on NXT, and especially with him and No Way Jose teaming up in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That's something I'm really gonna get behind. They're already gonna be one of my favorite teams. We got a little backstage promo between them later on in the show, and it was just, you could just tell they're gonna have so much fun. They're being themselves. You know, they're going with it. The crowd's gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. So that is a perfect team. You know, they're just two like-minded personalities, two guys that just want to go out there and have some fun. And with pretty catchy theme music, I might have to add. So this match, it was all right. Patrick Clark, he came down. He had this new look, new getup with a headband and kind of like a scarf thing. I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, we'll have to see what they're doing with Patrick Clark. Definitely a new look for him. And like I said, the match with him and Swann, it was all right. It was nice, however, to see that Rich Swann was able to pick up a victory on NXT. He was able to get the victory after he hit the Swan kick, followed by a handspring moonsault for the victory. So can you handle this? Most certainly you can. So just great to see Rich Swann get the win here. Like I said, he's one of my favorites to watch, and his theme song kicks ass. We had Dan Matha make his debut. Apparently he was from Erie, PA, so shout out to a Western Pennsylvania native. Went to the University of Pittsburgh. I didn't know this, so that's very close to home. It's only a couple miles down the river there. So he's a big guy, got a big look. His theme music, not really a fan of, but that's okay. We'll have to see where they go with him. But he was supposed to be scheduled for his in-ring debut against an opponent, but Samoa Joe would come down, blindside Matha, and just beat the holy hell out of him, beat him senselessly. Joe got on the mic and said, "Regal, I'm going to continue to hold this show hostage until you either strip Nakamura of the title or give that title back to me." And he says, I took your golden prospect and I just beat him senselessly. I'll do that to anyone else until I get what I want. So this was really good to see. It continues the build-up for what's going to happen. What is Regal's decision going to be? Are we going to see another rematch between Joe and Nakamura? I think that's obviously where this is headed. Possibly an NXT TakeOver Toronto. We'll have to see. But yeah, Joe, pissed off and vengeful as has ever been. So we'll have to see when Nakamura will eventually make his return. And if so, what will be next in this feud. And then we had our final first round match of the evening. Actually, excuse me, I jumped the gun here. We had women's action on this show. It was the match between, Shit, I can't seem to find it here. It was the match between, I want to say, here, just give me a second here. But going back to the, Samoa Joe Nakamura, I think after the feud between Joe and Nakamura concludes, I think we will most likely see Samoa Joe be brought up to the main roster. I think it's about time, and yeah, he'll definitely make a great addition, hopefully, to the SmackDown brand. So here we go. Apologize for this. It was Danielle, Camela versus Peyton, Royce. It was an okay match. Like I said, NXT is still trying to establish these women. We've seen Peyton Royce before in the past, and Danielle, Camela. I liked what Peyton Royce had to offer in this match. She was able to get the win after she hit a modified fisherman suplex. Like I said, just standard average match. They gave these women some time. The crowd, was didn't really react to either of these women. Obviously, they don't know that much about them, so NXT will have to take the time to establish who these women are. Yeah. We'll have to see, where they go. But I definitely see potential here in Peyton Royce. She's got a good look, very beautiful woman. And I think from what we've seen, she can definitely go in the ring. Hopefully we can see more of her and understand who her character is and her motivations. You got Billie Kay. You got Ember Moon. You still got Asuka. So the building blocks can be in place for, you got Liv Morgan. So eventually you give these women time. Allow them to bloom, and eventually I think we'll see a resurgence with the NXT Women's Division, because this is going to happen, when you draft, the likes of Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Bayley, you kind of gutted the Women's Division, so it'll take some time, but like I said, standard average match here. Nothing wrong with that. And then we had our final match in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic for the evening. It was the Revival versus Andreas Cien Almas and Cedric Alexander. Really fun, good, solid main event match. The Revival are one of the best, if not the best, tag teams in WWE on the entire roster. Dash and Dawson, they just work so well together as the all serious, no flips, just fist heels. And I thought Cedric and Cien Almas, they worked fairly well together in this match. There was one nice move where Almas and Alexander almost did a feint to dive, and he laid in the ropes, and Alexander went right over top of him and hit a tope con hilo to take out both Dash and Dawson. So that was really nice to see. Like I said, Alexander, he's such an incredibly talented athlete in that ring. I'm definitely glad we're seeing more of him here on NXT. But the important takeaway from this match is Dash and Dawson were able to advance after they hit the Shatter Machine. After the match, it looked like, Almas and Alexander, they were going to kind of go their separate ways here and whatnot, but Almas would just snap, and he would just begin beating down Cedric Alexander, viciously, and he threw him to the outside, threw him into the ring post, laid some kicks in on him, and I think this is exactly what I wanted to see happen with Almas. He really wasn't quite connecting with the crowd, I think, the way that they thought that he would. And I just think he is better suited for a heel turn. I think he can play out, he has the look of a heel, that aggression that we saw from him, and just the way he was soaking in. The crowd was chanting, "You suck," so that's good. They're booing this guy, and I definitely want to see what he has to offer as a heel, because there really wasn't too much as a baby face. We didn't really know why he was doing, what were his motivations for going into the ring and fighting. So I thought this was well done, overdue. I wouldn't say long overdue, but it was still overdue enough, and I'm glad that the turn took place. So we'll have to see where they go in the future with Cien Almas, but this is only a positive. So looking back on this entire edition of NXT, if I had to give it a grade, I would give it a strong C+. Thought it was an average show, really good main event, some average women's action. I enjoyed the Samoa Joe beatdown, Authors of Pain, and the quick squash. So yeah, we'll obviously see more first-round action in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I also believe on this show it was announced that Sanity would be making their in-ring debut next week, and I want to say they're going up against Glorious 10, Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger, who also had a fun backstage interview. They're quickly going to become one of my favorites if, next to Gargano and Ciampa to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So that's going to be good stuff. Look forward to seeing what Sanity has to offer. So that's it, folks. That's my full thoughts and opinions on last night's edition of NXT. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thought of NXT. What did you like? What didn't you like? Always enjoy getting that feedback. Remember to check out my Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic preview and predictions video. And also be on the lookout for my No Mercy preview and predictions video. The pay-per-view is coming up. It's hard to believe, this upcoming Sunday, October 9th. So I'm going to get my preview and predictions in there. Be on the lookout for that video, guys. And then, of course, I will be back with my No Mercy video review that should be up around 11 o'clock at night. I don't think I'm going to be doing a Guys of Wrestling report this week. Just got too much going on. So we'll probably delay that and push that back to next week. So a lot of good content coming soon to this channel. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. So thank you all for watching this NXT review. And I will see you guys tomorrow for No Mercy predictions and preview. Until then, guys, take care.